Hello, my name's Jon Sermon. I'm a church minister based in Suffolk in the UK. And right now I'm in one of the two church buildings I'm responsible for. It's a place called Lowestoft, which is the easternmost part of the United Kingdom. And I'm here for the second time this week. Those of you who saw what I put out, recorded on Monday and actually got it onto YouTube on Tuesday morning, you will have remembered that I was in this building waiting for an engineer to come and install the internet. Frustrating time indeed, having driven 20 miles and set aside the whole of the period 1 till 6, but with travelling time, a total of 7 hours. The engineer didn't come at all. And to cap it all, the following morning, I got an email saying we're going to have to reschedule the appointment. We do face frustrations of that kind often, don't we? And perhaps compared to all the seriousness of the coronavirus situation, such a frustration is a bit insignificant. But here I am for a second time and hoping and praying that the engineer turns up this time. And so that we will be able to have an internet connection in this building, and when, in a few weeks' time, I start having a small gathered congregation here as well, I'll be able to connect with the people physically in the building and those coming in through technology at the same time. Can't do it without an internet connection, obviously, because I need that in order for this to go out live rather than a recording like I'm doing now, which can be posted later. Now, having said all of that, you can understand, I'm sure, that I found it rather frustrating to have given up so much time and travelled that distance only for what I came for not to happen. And maybe in its small way, that's indicative of the sorts of frustrations we're still facing day by day. What with the limitations, I've got one of my face masks I've made here that I would have to wear if going into a shop or going on public transport and so on. And indeed, we'll be wearing face masks as we greet the people who come in once the church is open, although I take it off to actually deliver the worship and preach. Now, all of these frustrations, they are real, yet how much do they really matter? I've got to say that for someone like me, they matter in the moment. I certainly was extremely frustrated on Monday and on Tuesday morning when I got that email. And yet, in the real big picture, where do they sit? I was looking again at the 23rd Psalm, probably the best known psalm, often read at funerals, and it includes at verse 4, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. That's a statement of faith made in this case by David. King David of the Old Testament era was the psalmist who wrote this psalm. He's saying, however bad the situation, and the valley of the shadow of death sounds a lot more serious than an internet engineer failing to turn up at the agreed time. You know, however bad it might be, he's saying, but God, I know you're with me. And that's what makes the difference. And this is the gist of how I've been able to feel it appropriate, even in time of my own bereavement and my wife's more recently. Both our fathers have died during this lockdown. But even in that situation, our example of walking through the valley of the shadow of death, still my wife and I find we can receive encouragement. And I want to pass on some encouragement to you. Whatever the frustrations you face, there is a reality that it is possible to know God is with us, and that makes all the difference. I pray you'll be able to explore that. Try praying if you haven't prayed ever or very often. Try simply speaking to God in a natural way like you'd speak to someone who's in the room with you, or do it on Zoom or other ways through technology these days that we're having to rely on so much. And the fact is, God will hear as you speak to him. And if you come to recognize his reality and appreciate that Jesus died on the cross, we've got a big cross up here, a symbol of Christianity for that reason, that was necessary and appropriate to bring us back into God's presence, and we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, we will know God with us just as the psalmist did. God bless you.